Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Relevant Discussion Podcast, where we talk about everything that nobody else wants to talk about. So let's have a discussion. Pull up. I'm here with B, my host, and I'm your host also, T.
What's
B,
up?
hi.
How you doing? How's everybody out there doing?
Hey world.
All right, all right.
How's it going?
What's up, people? Glad to be here with y'all today. Thank you for listening, joining in with us. Yeah, let's see. What's up, T? What's happening? Uh,
I'm good.
Yo, you look kind of fresh, yo.
I mean, you notice anything different?
Yeah.
Just a light, like for the people to see.
All right.
You
I
know, just
see, I see you decided to finally hop on the hop in, jump on the bandwagon here. All right,
I
welcome.
mean, I was just waiting because somebody for the shipment was taking way too long. So yeah,
Yeah,
but I got.
about that.
I'm part of the squad now. I'm part of. I mean, I've always been part of the squad, but now it's like official, official.
All right, all right, all right. Okay. All right. Well, welcome.
B, what's going on with
Nah, not much, and I just it was actually my weekend wasn't too bad. I think from what I can remember on Friday, I think we just chilled, went food shopping, chilled out. That's like a regular Friday. I just started to actually no, it wasn't. Oh, we didn't do a podcast last week. So last Friday I went posing because I've been training since the beginning since January.
you?
So I've lost about, and for me it's not even about the weight. I just need to get bigger. But I've lost about 10 pounds. I lost 10 pounds and then I gained like 5. So I've kind of gained some muscle there. At some point I'll post some pics on the Instagram for everybody to see. Until then, my progress will remain on the low. Maybe I'll flash something for y'all for the summer. I don't know. We see how I feel. Kind of shy
Mm.
about that. Super shy.
Okay,
Yeah,
you about to do a show?
yeah.
Okay.
It was vacation for the for Isaiah this week. So, jeez, I gotta turn this down.
Mm.
It was vacation this week, so I had to make sure I keep Isaiah occupied. Besides playing Xbox all week, we took him and his sister bowling and to the
Mm.
arcade. That was money well spent, but the money
That's fun.
I spent a lot of money. Spent a lot of money that night. It just I don't know. It just like the bread was flowing.
Yeah, when you're having fun, you're not paying attention to like
I was still
the
paying
pay.
attention, and the bread was still flowing. I'm
Ah,
like, yo, you done? Yo, you done playing? You still playing? He's like, yeah, yeah, fill up the card. Let's keep playing. I was like, oh, all right.
come
Meanwhile,
on, Pop.
playing all the time. Autumn got herself a big pink unicorn, which was nice. Tanya won that for her. And then my ego was hurt, so I spent mad coins trying to win her another one, but I didn't win nothing. So
Wait, so your ego was hurt because you didn't win her a stuffed animal?
yeah, Tanya got it for her. I wanted to
Why
be the one
would
to
you
get it.
like,
You know those machines that got the claw?
oh my
Yeah,
God, you
one of
mean
those.
those scamming machines? Because that's what they are. This is a scam.
Well, I mean, Tanya beat the scam, I guess. I'm the one who
You know,
got.
the ones I hate,
Hmm?
huh? I mean, the ones that I hate are like the ones that they put like the iPad or the iPod and like who's really gonna get that?
Oh, you playing yourself? They ain't. Yeah, those are for sure. You are never gonna win. You ain't never gonna win one of those. And
Like, come
I'm a
on
pretty
now.
positive person. You ain't never gonna win one of those in them things. And then
Yeah.
besides that, we went to Dave and Buster's last night. Of course, you was there. Some people, if they was on the gram, they seen that we was hanging out at Dave and Buster's. It was alright. It was alright. I may have hyped it up a little bit too. I've never been. That was my first time there, so I may have
Mhm.
hyped it up a little bit too much for Isaiah. We're on the ride home. I was like, "Yo, Isaiah, what'd you think? How did you have fun?" He's like, he paused for a moment. He was like, yeah. I was like, oh. I was like, yo, my fault, son. I was like, I hyped it up. He's like, yeah, you did. I was like, okay. I was like, yo, we'll figure. I was like, I got a great summer plan for you. I skipped right to summer.
Oh,
Hmm?
what's the summer plan? I'm curious.
Yeah,
What's the summer plan?
I can't let this leak because he has no idea what's happening. All I can say is we're going to Florida.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. Does it start with a B word and with a Y?
yes. I know he ain't watching. I know he ain't gonna watch it. So yes, but I'm not. I won't say anything else. I won't say anything else.
Okay. Ooh, are we invited? Baby, I feel like we should be invited.
I
Be a
mean,
nice little
if you
party.
wanna, if I'm driving down, so if you wanna drive down, if you wanna drive down too, yeah. If these kids, if they're gonna be going to that magical place, they're going. I'm making them work for it. So they're gonna drive down. It's gonna be a road
Never
trip.
mind. Never mind. I'm good. I no. I've done drove to Florida one too many times. I'm good. I'm straight.
All right. Oh well.
That my weekend.
How was your weekend? Besides yesterday.
Weekend, I worked Friday, and then Saturday we went to Dave and Buster's, and yeah, my week was very boring, I guess. Minus David Buster's, but like I like my weekends when they're not like jam packed and like full. Like I like when my weekends is just made for like chilling, like like the normal. You gotta wake up, you gotta clean, go to the gym, and then you just kick it for the rest of the day. That's
Yeah.
my type of weekend.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of those. Doesn't happen
That's
too
it.
often, but I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'd rather take that. I'd rather just like, okay, we gonna wake up, do what we gotta do, and then boom, by like what 1, 2 o'clock, we have the rest of the day for ourselves. Okay, that sounds good. I mean, obviously the gram, whoever follow us on the gram, y'all saw that we were at David Buster's and we were having fun. We had our family there, our babies were there. So it was fun. I had a good time. It was her first time there. I think for a toddler, it's not best for a toddler, but she didn't care. She just seen the lights, and I think that was good enough for her, all the lights and what little game she could play. That's all that mattered.
Yeah, I thought it would have been nicer if they had some games for the youngins, but even the games for the for I'm gonna say kid like myself. Matter of fact, I'll take that, yo. I'm not an adult. I'll take myself as a kid. I didn't like any of the games for myself. I wasn't a fan. Um, yeah, maybe it was just the location because I noticed that different locations have different things. So maybe I'll try the one that's closer to my house to see what that one has to offer. We'll see. I'll
Okay.
let you know. I'll let you know if they end up being over 2.
Report back. Yeah, report back to the people.
I
So
will report back to the people.
since we since we got out the way of our weekend, we can do like a little quick recap and everyone know that we are doing every 2 weeks. So gives you guys more time to marinate with each podcast episode that we give you. So not last week, but the week before that, right, Beat? The week before that?
Yeah, it was the week before. Yep.
Yeah. So the week before that, it was me and my husband that were on the podcast, and we talked about how we met, our journey from, I guess, our journey from meeting each other to now being married with a toddler. So that was like a fun, fun get to know us kind of um, interview. So you guys get to know like a little bits and pieces of us and our life. So go check that out. So before you watch this episode, just go back and watch it on our YouTube page. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, follow on all of our platforms. We are on Anchor also. So if you want to go and check us out on Anchor, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, Google, all them good stuff. wherever you listen to your podcast. Pretty sure we are there also. So don't forget to go check that out. We are on YouTube. Please leave any comments. We love reading your comments. We definitely appreciate hearing from a subscriber how much they really appreciate our podcast and how much they finally get to put a face to the voices they've been hearing through whatever player I guess they use to listen to their podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We appreciate the comments, any feedback. It's very helpful, and it's and just to know that we either relating to people out there, or just or even entertaining people out there. We definitely really appreciate that. So thank you. So you want to jump to today's topic?
Yes. So today's topic, we are going to be discussing how we help our significant other with a different job change, maybe a side gig, starting their own business.
Before I gotta interrupt you real quick, T. I think the audio may have cut out a little bit when you started to say the beginning of
Okay.
what
Sorry, guys.
yeah.
I'm sure my
On my end, it
having
did.
problems. Okay. Well, if you guys can hear it, we're talking about how we support our significant other in a job change, being an entrepreneur, deciding to take that route with their life, starting new business, everything that entails with your significant other wanting to do something different from their regular 9 to 5 job.
All right, yeah. I guess it sounds like you just passed the mic to me then to get started.
Yeah, it did.
Wow, that silence was heavy. Okay, I'll take that. Thank you very much.
I was letting it marinate in my mind first.
Yes. So, I mean, my wife and I, we've been through a number of career changes, and things of whatnot, of that nature. I probably say, so I'll start it off with, I'd say what, maybe about 7 years ago. Yeah, about 7 years ago, I decided I wanted out of the job that I was in at that period of time, during that period of time, and I just got up and left. I got all my stuff together, saved up money. We sold our condo, moved back to the parents' house, and I decided to go back to school for respiratory therapy. But these with all that stuff that had been done, we had to have my wife and I had to have some serious conversations as to where we're gonna stay, how long was this gonna be for. She was the only person who was gonna be working at that time. Granted, we were gonna be staying at my parents' house for a short period of time. We kind of talked about a lot of that as well. Um, Now you got two ladies in the kitchen. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, so and you have a child in there. You got a my son was, I think my son was like 2 at the time. So
Mm.
I decided to go back to school. I'm in school. I did the first semester. I missed the first. I was taking 4 or 5 classes, for respiratory therapy. I didn't pass one class. Right? I didn't pass one class. I needed to wait to take that class over the next year. So now
Wait,
I got a wife, a child, and I gotta delay everything for a whole nother year.
so you didn't pass any of your classes,
Whoa,
or
whoa, whoa,
you
whoa.
passed all of them but one?
Hold on, homie. I didn't pass one class. I
Okay,
didn't pass,
that's why I had
I didn't
to
pass
stop you because
Yeah, I didn't pass the one class, and I missed it by like 4 points. I missed it by like 4 points. So now now, and and throughout this whole thing, I can see it beginning to. Not even beginning. Like probably like the first or the second month in, I could see it kind of wearing on Tanya a little bit because I'm studying. I'm studying as much as I can. Um, she's working full time. She's working full time. She's got Isaiah. Doing a lot of the drop offs in the morning for daycare and things like that. She's still got to take care of his food and do all this stuff. So I'm almost absent. If it's not the weekend, if it's not the weekend, I'm not even there. So during the week, I'm just studying. So I'd say probably a couple months in. What's that, T?
I was saying that's hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was very hard, and I could see it, and I could see it, um, and I could see it wearing on her too. I could see it wearing on her big time. So then I just said, after I didn't pass that class, we sat down together, and before I said that I was gonna decide to not continue, I said, hey, how do you feel about this? And she gave it to me. Not She gave it to me, let me know that it was stressful. It was wearing it was wearing on her, and what do I'll support whatever you if you want to continue, but if you decide to just go back to work and figure something and do something else, I'm all right with that too. So I made the decision to after more talking, I made the decision to go back to work in a new field. The field that I'm still in, even that I'm still in to this day, very happy in it. And yeah, I was she was there for the full support, and it's even though you're getting that full support from somebody, it's still tough on both sides
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah.
So you gotta have constant conversations. I had to put my big boy pants on, stop going to school, and just get to work. That was it.
Those are tough conversations to have. Those are like the type of conversations you don't ever want to have those type of conversations because you feel like it might hurt someone's feelings if you
Yeah,
have those type of conversations.
and you're like you're putting a hold. You're putting a hold on not just your on your own endeavors, but your significant others as well. Because now they've got to, you're going one person going back to school, they're not gonna be able to work. Now the other person that is working is gonna have to take on a lot more responsibility. They're taking on all the burden on a lot of different things, and when they say yes to it, they might not even realize how much how much support they're gonna actually um, need to bring to the table for the other person.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
it's rough. Sold out, selling a place, moving to mom and dad's house.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's good stuff
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
hard.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, at least the career change turned into like the best thing that ever happened to you guys.
Yeah,
You know, like
it definitely didn't, and it's happened a few times actually, where we've just decided to just what, this ain't working out. I'm gonna go do something. I'm gonna do something else.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I feel like people are probably scared to do that kind of career change because they don't know what the outcome might possibly be if they do the career change. Personally, we've gone through some changes. When I was laid off from the same company that me and Pat were working at, um, he was still working. At that time, we weren't even married. We were just, of course we weren't married, but we're in a relationship. So it's like that really didn't affect him as much as it affected me because I was always the type of person. I was always working. I was always having some type of job, looking for some type of job. Just sometimes I used to have like two jobs and go to school and somehow try to juggle all of that. And that was like kind of like I would say like a little bit of like a rough patch on my end, but not on the relationship, because it's like at that point it kind of got us to grow even better now. So it's just like, okay, you go to work, from like this time to this time, and by the time you get out of work, I'll be pretty much at his house already, waiting for him, to just hang out or whatever. And then as the years went on, um, I end up, I end up getting pregnant, and our life was supposed to go like a whole different route. We were supposed to like move, go to Atlanta, and I pretty much had left my job. I quit my job, not even quit. I was supposed to transfer to the job.
Mm.
So I put my transfer request in. I was supposed to transfer to Atlanta. Um, Pat was he found a job similar to what he had here, and that didn't happen. So that's one huge career change that just got stopped. And now I'm pregnant and trying to find a job and waiting for him to come back, because he decided that it was best for him to just come back home, while I was being pregnant. And once we came back home, we had to make a decision on what we were going to do once, the baby came. Are we gonna have me stay home while he works, or are we both gonna go to work? Trying to find daycare around that time, you know to watch her while both of us go to work. And essentially went down to me staying home for a whole year. And that would have to be like one of the roughest time that we've been through with our careers, where his job hours were like, I consider it horrible hours. So like Monday through Thursday, he used to have to go to work to 3 to 11. So I pretty much had him from like the time we woke up until like maybe like 2 o'clock. And with a newborn, like you already have no sleep already.
Yeah.
So that right there just like is horrible. And then he had like a 7 8 on Fridays, he had to be at work by like 7 a.m. So he would have to leave the house by like 6 to get to his job. And that was even harder, because on those days, I essentially told him like, I'll take care of the baby so you can get sleep, so you can not be so tired when you're going to work. So that was like a huge thing that was like hard on us. And one day he came to me with, you know, be told me that there's a job opening up at his company. What do you think I should do? And we had that conversation, and I said, honestly, I think it's best if you take that job, because
Mhm.
these hours don't work out for us. It's like we're barely seeing each other, and when we're both exhausted. He's not coming home until like 12, 1 o'clock. By the time he gets home, it's like 12, 1 o'clock.
Eat.
I'm either sleeping or I'm feeding. So, that's that's not even like healthy. So it would be best thing in the world, to be quite honest, because now he has a stable hours. Like we see each other. I work for you guys, so like we see each other even more. So it was a good career change for us. Like it was almost like a well needed career change for us.
Mm. So how did you, when he? So it sounds like you were very. I mean, you were very supportive in that. In that change. 'Cause you said this doesn't work. These, the current hours aren't working out. You you're getting home really late. But so that's on his end. on your end, so you decided that you were going to take on that. So for him to be able to get some sleep, you said you're going to take on everything, waking up with the baby and everything. And it sounds, for him, it sounds great. He's like, yeah, oh yeah, I can get some sleep. So that's part of your, being a supportive wife. You don't want your husband to fall asleep on the way to work. So now you're taking on
Yeah, 'cause
you take on everything at home, and it started it starts to wear on you.
yeah, because you have to think of, like, when you're a first time mom and the baby's crying, you want to be able to, like, like, hey, can you help? But at the same time, I wanted him to get some rest, like, I wanted him to make sure, like, it's okay. If you need to sleep on the couch so you can get like a good night's sleep, that's fine. That's like, like, that's okay. Cause I'd rather you get the rest, and then you have to get up super early to go to work. I mean, I'll take the being tired and maybe being snappy, but I mean, I think I'm that person. I'd rather, no matter how tired I am, I'd rather help you out to make sure you're okay. That's just how I am as a person. And that's just how I helped him throughout that period of our relationship. It was, it's tiring. Tanya did it, and it gets hard, it's exhausting, and once you change that career, you're just like, everything looks good, everything feels better, you can breathe, like, as if like a weight was lifted off of your shoulders. And now I know, like, Tanya has her own personal, like, entrepreneurship, her own business
Well,
also.
so before we get into that though, this is it. It's how did we get it? How did she get to that period, to that spot? So she was a medical assistant for X amount of years. It's probably like good, like 15, 16 years, I think she was a medical assistant. And for me, having to watch her study and stuff, we couldn't hang out and things like that. So I had to be supporting. I was just a boyfriend at the time, so I had to be supportive. I had to be supportive on that because I was in college at the same time myself. But fast forward from that, so when she was getting ready to finally leave. Actually, you know what? It was when we moved out to this particular area that we're in now. She started a job that was closer to home, and the original commute to where she was working before we moved here was like an hour and 15 minutes, right?
Mm.
And she agreed to that. Before we moved out here, I was like, "Yo, you sure with this commute?" She was like, "Yeah, I really wanna, we really wanna purchase a home. We wanna purchase it out here." I was like, "All right, say no more." We signed the paperwork and we move in. First day that she's driving out to that way, there's like a pileup on the highway. It took her 4 hours to get to work one morning. Yeah, that was the first day living out here, and we live right now. We live 50 minutes from Boston, and the job was in Peabody. Peabody is like a good
Oh,
like 20, 30 minutes away from Boston, like heading north of Boston. So
that
that,
traffic is
so she was,
exhausting.
yeah, so she was, yeah, it was quite the hike. So, so she started working out here. She worked at this, so she loved that job. Then she moved to a job that was out here that was like 10 minutes away from home. You think you good because now you got this ill commute. Like, yo, I'm right next to the house. Yo, she hated the job. She started working there, hated the job. Yo, Sunday night would come, her eye would start to twitch. She started to feel sick to her stomach.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. So now I'm like coaching her and just like, yo, what's going on over there? She's telling me all the stuff that's happening, and we like every night we would be talking about something. She would be, being mistreated and everything. And I'm trying to do my part and support her, And until finally she came home. She came home crying actually one day, stressed, and she was like, I can't take this anymore. I hate this place. I don't want to work here. And finally I had already thought about it in the back of my head. In the back of my mind, I was like, at some point, only one of us is gonna be working, because um, I'm like, I was like, I did it. I mean, like, I did it to her. Now it's going. Eventually, it's going to happen. Somebody's gonna have a career change again. So she happened to be that person. So we talked about it that evening, and I said, you know what? I said we're good. We've saved up some bread. We kind of knew this was gonna happen. So just leave. She's like, you sure? I was like, but she still had tears coming down her face, and she's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. So she started smiling, and I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, what the hell did I just? Oh, what did I just say yes to? Next day, next day she went in. I was like, yo, you went in? She's like, yeah, I'm going in. So she went in. She walked in, walked out in like 15, 20 minutes. She's like, I'm done. She told them she was done. Came home, yo. When she came home, yo, her smiling from ear to ear,
That's
smiling from
solid.
ear to ear. Once I said, yeah, you know what, it's not making you happy. It's not even the fact that it's not making you happy. It's making you miserable and stressed at the
And you're
same.
physically sick.
Huh?
You're sick at the same
It is,
time.
yeah. It's making you sick. So matter of fact, yo, and I was just getting sick and tired of talking about it, honestly, at night. She come through the door. She started talking about work. I'm like, yo, listen, you got 5 minutes to talk about this work, and
Yes.
and we good after, and I don't want to hear anything. I can't hear anything about it after that. So she left. She left. And she was home for a little bit. She was home for a little bit. But in the meantime, she was studying. She was studying to be a personal trainer. And so that's how that really came about. So now, fast forward to, damn, that was like 3 years. Yeah, fast forward to like 3 years ago. I mean, to 3 years later, which is now. I said 3 years ago. Now she's running boot camps. She's running boot camps on her own, at people's houses. She does group fitness. She trains. So and now she's a lifestyle coach. And this is all stuff that she's done on her end. And if I didn't give her the okay, if I didn't give her the go ahead, supporting what she wanted to do next, I probably wouldn't have a happy wife right now.
Mm. I mean, I, you can't say that right now. It probably would have taken like maybe like 6 more months before you like, I can't just quit. Just call them on the phone right now and just quit.
But
That's what I feel.
but I'm not the one who's showing up for work though. I'm not the one who's going to that job. I could have been the type of husband to just be like, yo, we need this money. Um, we need this money. Keep on, yo, just keep working. Just keep working. Just enjoy. Just make sure you enjoy your weekends.
That doesn't help though.
No, it
That
doesn't help. But I could have. I mean, there's people that do that though. I could have easily said that.
I know, but to say like, okay, just enjoy your weekends. Like if you're not, but if you were that type of husband, like I completely get it. Like when you work at a job and you just like you're so over it and you're so done with that job. Like I've had conversations with Pat about like certain jobs and just like I don't even want to be there anymore. Like it's that feeling where it's just like come Monday, you're just like, well, I guess I'm here.
Yeah. I mean,
You know
when
that you're just annoyed that like you gotta get up, you gotta go, you're frustrated, you know that you have more to give and this job isn't giving it to you.
Mhm.
Like I completely get it. And when you're just done, you're done. And at this point, it's just like when like if Pat's asking me like, in previous jobs, like, how's your day? I'm just like, it was okay. because it's like there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing exciting to talk about. There's
Yeah,
nothing like interesting to talk about. It's like same thing over and over and over again. Like you're miserable at the job. You don't want to be there, but you're just there just to just get a paycheck essentially. Like it turns into like a paycheck. And I
that's
feel
not
like
fun.
huh?
That's not fun.
It's
It's not
not.
fun.
And
And that's
it's kind of annoying.
it is, and that's I mean, and at the same time too, that's you not even with whether you're not acknowledging burnout, or if you're in a place where if you're in a place where they yeah, like you were saying earlier, like they're constantly just taking and taking and not giving anything. If you're in a spot where you're not even learning anything, like you gotta go, and you gotta get out. Like I've
Or
like I've if you're going to work, if you're going to have a 9 to 5 and you're going to work for a company, you gotta is the company's interviewing you, you gotta interview the company too, to see if you know if they're a good fit for you. And that's the spot that I'm at right now. That was definitely I had a real the first conversation I had with the president of the company that I work with right now. We had a pretty long conversation, which was the initial conversation. I didn't even have it wasn't a phone interview. It wasn't a phone interview. It was really nothing like that. He was really just calling to just to ask me a couple questions, and we were just on the phone for like an hour and a half. We're talking for an ill minute, and I've been there for almost 6 years 6 years now, and from time to time I do bring up that conversation. He does remember stuff from the conversation, so he'll mention stuff sometimes. So it's funny. So it's definitely important for you to not only be interviewed but do the interviewing as well. A lot of times we don't come prepared with certain questions, and right off the bat, I mean, I knew what the money was, and I knew what it could be potentially and stuff like that, but it wasn't really. I had already come from a spot where I was making decent money, and I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy at all, and you know, I, I joke around a lot about keeping the soul intact. It wasn't. Yeah, nah. I was sick I'd be sick on Sunday night. Like, yo, I gotta go into work on Monday, and stuff like that. So, and through that, Tanya was supporting. She was supporting me through that. At the
yeah.
time, I couldn't
Yeah.
really, we couldn't really say, yeah, I'm just gonna get up and bounce. But that's how the whole I'm going to respiratory therapy school came about, and she supported that. So,
And that's
you know,
that's that's good though. Like when you
yeah,
have a wife or a husband that sees that you're just kind of like completely over it and they're willing to what sacrifice everything for themselves to make you happy. And that sounds wild, like, oh, to make you happy. But they're willing to kind of sacrifice the comfortability right now for this moment
yeah.
for a better life after. Like you get what I mean? Be like
Oh,
Tanya knew that like she had to step up and do even more than usual because she knew that your happiness was far greater than you working at this job and getting like a nice paycheck. Because at the end of the day, like, oh, it's nice to have a big paycheck, but if you're coming home every day just annoyed, then I mean, what can you do?
it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. And sitting here buying stuff isn't not. I mean, it's not gonna make you happy. It's not gonna make you happy either.
Exactly. No, exactly. I completely agree. I
Yeah.
mean,
So yeah. So
it's
now Tanya. Yeah, she's doing her thing. She's being a lifestyle coach. With that brings in a very busy household now. So now I've got to
mhm.
step up, and I've got to help out her. I've got to help out around the house, and be home when she needs to meet with a client, and kind of things like that. So now we're really working out schedules. Um, making sure I'm either I'm available, here to grab my son off the bus, or make sure that the kids have something to eat, or before this, she was prepping all my food and everything for the week. So
Mhm.
now I'm jumping in, and she's prepping a couple of days, and then I'm prepping the rest of the time. So it's just having those conversations, sorting out the details, and for you to go ahead and be able to support that other person. If and another thing is too, if you got a good track record, you gotta have a good track. You gotta have a good track record, because if you're doing some suspect things, or whatever those things might be, your significant other might not have the faith in you
Yeah,
for you to be able to make that change.
yeah, yeah. I
You
agree.
won't
I
get that
agree.
support.
What are you gonna say?
No, for you, so you won't even end up getting that support. So now that turns into a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta make sure that whatever you're doing, like that your significant other sees something coming out of it. Um, I know if like for Pat, like he's the type of person that like he wants to build a generational wealth, which I think everyone should want to build in their life once you have kids or no kids. You just want to build wealth, and he's always coming to me with different ways to build stuff like that. Either it's the stock market, like doing his research and you know doing his homework on that, or the biggest thing is like real estate, like buying properties, flipping them, making money off of that. He's always, and that's what I love about him. He's always on the grind. He's always on the go. He always finds different ways to stay relevant with what's going on in the world. And I mean, right now, we both of us are actually in the, I guess we're both transitioning into something else for ourselves, for our future right now, which I'm very excited on doing with him together. So that's going to be like a great journey for us together as a couple to go through it together. And
Mhm.
hopefully one day, um, it takes us somewhere where we both don't even have to work at all. So that's something that we're both working on together. Um, and it's also nice to have things to separately for us to, build for ourselves. I know at this point of my life, I'm starting to look at career changes, changing my career and getting out of the office scene because it's not doing justice for me anymore. It's not fulfilling my need, it's not fulfilling my drive. It's not something that I want to continue. I feel like I can grow in different avenues of my life. I think everyone gets to that point in their
Absolutely.
life where they feel like, this job is good and I appreciate the time that they've given me, but it's like, okay, now it's time to look somewhere else. And it's time to kind of, I guess, step out of corporate America. I guess it's time to leave that corporate lifestyle or that office lifestyle. It's time to just kind of leave that and take the big leap of faith and, do what you always wanted to do.
Yeah, you definitely get to that. You definitely get to that point. I think that's what brought me to the point of wanting to go to respiratory school at that particular time. I was, just kind of like, all right, what can I, what this seems like an interesting field, compared to what I'm in right now, what I was doing at the time. I just wasn't happy. I knew I could do more. Um, I didn't think that my skills were being utilized in an efficient manner, and I didn't have any. And it was for a large company, and I didn't have any say in anything, at all. I didn't have any say. They would, every so often you'd have to be worried about a layoff and all this stuff like that, and then just politics too. That
Yeah.
was That was like the biggest thing. But
So
and I hated it so much that people are like, how come you want to leave and stuff like that, and I'm just like, my response was, yeah, my time's up here. That's it. I didn't badmouth the place, nothing. I just said my time's up.
yeah, that makes sense. No, I completely understand. Um, to backtrack all the way back to when you had that conversation with Tanya and to let Tanya know that this is what you wanted to do. How did that, besides it being a strain on Tanya, how did that affect your marriage? How did that affect you guys communicating with each other? Um, how did that affect you guys physically, mentally, emotionally as a married couple with a child? How did that affect you guys? And how did
Um,
you overcome it?
I think it was just through a lot of talking and having regular, not just having regular discussions about it, but I think my parents really helped out with that too, because I mean, so now we're in the house with, we're in the house with them too. So they would take Isaiah. They would take Isaiah. So we actually got a lot more date nights out of that because we had the in-house babysitting. I mean, my parents were like, I can't say enough about my parents. My parents are the great. I was about to say effing great, but yeah, my parents are great because like honestly, I can't complain about about um about anything. They, if it was like privacy or whatever, or just anything, they were just, yeah, they were just very helpful. They're
Mhm.
mad strict. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely mad strict. Pops definitely mad strict, but if I needed something, they were definitely able to to I was borderline spoiled. Let's just say that. I was borderline. I was borderline. I've heard people say that to me. I didn't realize it until I got older. I was like, yeah, you know what, Joe? I think I was. I guess I was spoiled. So
Yeah.
yeah, nah, they would come down. You know what? Me and Tanya be sitting there. You know what? Send him upstairs. I'm like, you sure? Yeah, all right, yo. Isaiah, go on, go ahead. Isaiah, no problem. Yo, Isaiah took right off. I'm like, yo, Tanya, what do you want to do? You want to go to dinner?
Sometimes,
Let's go to dinner. So we'll go to dinner. So, in terms of like stress on our relationship, it didn't cause any stress between the two of us. I think the only time it was stressful for Tanya was when she wanted to cook, when she wanted to go cook something. Cause now
mm,
my mom would have already cooked something, and now we're trying to eat a little healthier, and the the Haitian diet is not conducive to let's see, weight loss or anything even remotely close to that. Like I don't know anybody who's been on the rice bean meal and Zia Spot diet and hasn't lost and has lost weight. If you know that, if anybody out there knows that person who managed to lose weight like that, please let me know, because I would love to be able to eat grill all day and Zia Spot and lose and not have to do any cardio and lose weight. That'd be great.
mm,
Yeah, that'd be
that'd be
great.
beautiful. Share your
But
secret.
no, getting back to it though. But yeah, just the only time was cook. Yeah, it was cooking, because that was the point where, if she wanted to make something for herself and didn't want to eat rice or anything like that, there was either no room, or my mom or even my grandmother were in the middle of cooking. So there was three women. At times there was three women in the kitchen. That's a lot.
Mm. Mm.
That's a lot.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like, where do you stand? Like, you're trying to make something healthy, but they're making some like good Haitian food. It's like, they
You
win.
don't. You either go sit your ass downstairs and go back to watch some TV, wait for the food to be cooked, or you get off your behind and go to some healthy spot where, I mean, in that area,
Overpriced salad.
in that area, you weren't gonna find a healthy spot. So it was, yeah.
Mm.
She gained weight while she was there. She gained a good amount. She gained a good amount of weight while she was there.
But it's hard. It's
It
so hard. Like side
definitely
Haitian
is.
food is so good. I
It,
know we're gonna take a little detour. Haitian food is so good, so it's hard not to want to eat it. Like I know you want to be healthy, but it's so hard not to have some rice and beans, some baked macaroni, some lasagna, some griot, some bona, and some sauce poise. It's so hard. Okay, we're back. Okay, I'm back on the path.
yeah, I haven't. Just to refer, yo, coach, I haven't eaten any of that stuff.
He's been really good.
Yes.
Detour man. He's been
Um,
really good. We're
Yeah,
back.
I'm gonna have to get some pictures on the gram just so y'all can see my progress soon.
Please don't.
Like
Please don't do
summer
it.
again, like I said.
Summertime.
But yeah. Oh yeah, we totally falling off right now.
All right. Yeah, let's get back. Okay, so that's good that it didn't strain your guys' relationship. That's good. Because I feel like career changes can either make or break a relationship.
Hmm.
Even if that person has never done anything to make you feel like they're not doing what they need to do to better their lives, sometimes people just don't have it in them anymore. Like they were cool when it was time for them to change their career to like support their significant other,
Hmm.
but then after a while, like say like 6 months into it, they're like, okay, still nothing yet. Like their support starts to dwindle.
Yeah,
They don't
they
see.
put a time limit on it almost.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
put a time limit on it, and you know what's a big one too is if it's not making as much money as the previous profession
yeah, yeah,
or the previous endeavor. Like, say if you leave your 9 to 5 and you're moving to moving to be an entrepreneur, and that's going to be, that's gonna be a lot of work. There's gonna be a lot of late nights on there, and there's gonna be times where there's no money made. So now that other
yeah,
person is looking and they're just like, all right, yo, you've done all this work. If they don't understand, yo, you've done all this work, but we don't have there's no money to show for it. So
mhm,
like how long are we gonna have to keep grinding like this and not making any
yeah,
and having no bread like this? So that's when
exactly.
it takes the right person to provide that kind of support and just be like, hey, I understand that this is gonna take time. Keep doing your thing. I'm gonna hold you down. And that's really what it is.
Yeah,
You need to have that other person know that they're gonna need to be able to hold you down, and for you to make that change, you have to have trust in that other person to know that they have the ability to hold you down too.
hmm, yep. And you gotta remember that like it's not gonna happen overnight. Like your significant other just told you like their dream, like what they want to do. It's not gonna happen in the next 6 months. You gotta give them some time to let them build up what they need to build, especially like you said, when you leave your 9 to 5 job and that income just gets slashed and cut, and now there's only one income coming in. That's a struggle. And sometimes it's hard and you get frustrated and you just want to tell them like, you know what, whatever, I'm done, I'm finished, I don't want to do this anymore because like I don't even see it anymore. But when you find someone that sees your dreams and they see your vision and they know exactly like the path that you want to take, especially when like your significant other doesn't even have to tell you the path. Like you already see it in your mind. They
Mm.
just have to tell you like little bits and pieces of it, but they like you already see the vision in the head. Then that's like the perfect person to support you. Because I
Yeah,
know my husband has given me his vision, and I'm like, all right, bet. What do we gotta do? Like, how we gotta do this? Like, Tell me how I can help you get to where you need to get to, because I'll do it. How many days do you need to for yourself to do what you gotta do? Just like gotta like I'll take the baby. Oh, I can't even call her a baby. I'll take our daughter out. I'll give you like the whole day. Or oh, do you need to go somewhere just to get like the juices flowing? All right, cool. Go do that. Like I support him in whatever he is doing. And if especially when your dream is so big and you're trucking sometimes, like you feel tired or your mind is not in it some days, I'd be like, hey, did you do this? Like tell me about it, talk to me, how is it going, like
Yeah.
and
Yep.
I feel like like when you talk to them, it's like it comes back alive again,
Mm-hmm.
and it's refreshing, and then like, all right, they're back at it again.
Yeah, it
So
might be
you gotta be there.
down at that moment, and you don't realize it when you come with your, yo, did you do this today? Hey, I had an idea about what you're doing, so you're engaged.
Mhm.
Not only are they engaged in in their stuff, you're engaged in it as well. Like I
Yeah.
offered, like, so for Tanya, for her stuff, I'll come home and I'm like, yo, did you update this spreadsheet? Oh no, I didn't do that. All right, yo, get on that so you can have the data for yourself clear. So you don't have to. She doesn't have to present the data or anything like that, but just to get things straight, and
Hmm.
just so she has everything organized. Really is
Yeah.
being, because doing it on your own and not having your boss being like, hey, do you have this done? Like, that's the thing, is the discipline. The Having the discipline is really the biggest thing. And I have to say that, like, the word discipline has come up a lot lately, where it's, like, I've honestly had to start saying to myself, fuck motivation, because there's just been so many times where I just haven't been motivated to do anything. But if I wait until I'm motivated to do something,
You're never gonna get.
I'm never gonna do it. I'm never gonna do it. So I just need to either have it in my schedule, or just be disciplined enough to stay consistent with it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And and sometimes you gotta be their cheerleader. Like you gotta be their number one cheerleader. You gotta cheer them on even when they don't even feel like cheering for them. Damn self. Like you just gotta like put the pressure on their neck. Like almost as like, if you don't do this, then like why are we even do this? It's like you almost got threaten them a little bit sometimes,
I
to
I
make them
I have
realize.
I haven't put out any threats. Let the record let the record
But like,
say
no,
that.
but when I guess I should let me backtrack. Like when I say you got threatened them,
I know what
like you
you
said,
mean, bro. I know what you mean.
but for the people out there that don't know what I mean when I say you got threatened them, it's not like a bad threat. It's a good threat. It brings them back. Sometimes when you're doing it, when you're focusing on the career that you want to do or the entrepreneurship that you're heading into, there's going to be days where you just don't do anything. See, like there's a lag, like a couple of days you're not doing anything. You just almost as if you're just kind of tired and over it. Sometimes you gotta put their pressure on their necks. Sometimes you gotta threaten them a little bit and say, remember why you're doing this. Like, please don't think that like I don't see that you're not doing anything. Like I see it and I'm just letting you, you know, sit in your whatever your mind or whatever's going on. Like you can sit in that, but best believe I'm gonna kick your ass and make sure you get back to what you need to do, because we're not here to play. We're doing this for our lives, for us to have a better life. So we ain't doing this 9 to 5. So we're not clocking into someone else's dream. Like why go and go to someone else's job that's their dream when we can just be our own jobs. So that's what I mean. Like you gotta threaten them a little bit and get them to realize that like, yeah, you're right. I'm not here to work for somebody else. I'm here to work for myself.
Yeah,
So that's it.
yeah. It's just yeah, hit him off with that word discipline.
If you
Discipline.
got it, you know it. If you don't got it, you're gonna figure it out soon.
I mean, I could take. I mean, and I could take my own advice. I could take my own advice too. Them times where I don't feel like doing anything, or anything, or it's just like, you know what? Remember why? You remember this, you remember that, and then I just start, and then you just get to it. And she reminds me. I remind her. I pushed her. Um, because the more she's able to do, if she's like, she's like, I can only get two. I'm like, nah, you'll push for 10. You think I can do 10? I think you do 10. Yeah, let's get to 10 and let's see if you can do it. She get to 10 and is like, you know what, yo, I think I could do 12. I'm like, I think you can do 15. So it just keeps on like
Yeah.
going.
It's
Yeah,
like tit for tat. So
yeah.
okay, so now boom, like you fast forward. Now Tanya has grown into the person that everyone needs Tanya's help now. Like, okay, everyone's messaging Tanya like, hey, I need to get ready for the summertime, I'm trying to get my summer body back. Or, everyone's hitting Tanya up like, hey, I have like a group of ladies that want to do your backyard boot camp. Make sure you go onto Instagram, Body by Tanya. She does that.
Hmm.
Check her out. Um, um now that that's you got a nice little smooth train going. Now what's going on with you guys now that she's super busy? How does that affect your guys relationship? Like, I know now the tables turns and now you're stepping up to do a little bit more, but like now how has that mentally, physically, emotionally got you guys? Like, is there any frustration? Is there any stress? Like, do you guys find time for each other? Like, when does Tanya know when to put the phone down and not talk to anybody about the business?
You know what? Luckily, the first, it's almost like training wheels when you start working with the new client, because they have all these questions. After, like, after a little bit, maybe it's a couple weeks or whatever, depending on what someone's particular level is on whatever she's assisting them with. Um, the training wheels come off. So she's not on. So she wouldn't be on. So she's not really on the phone as much. But I expect, whenever she gets a new client, she's like, oh, I've got this new client, and I already know that they're gonna have to be on the she's gonna have to be in constant communication with this person if it's really a newbie, if it's, or Isaiah likes to say, a noob. It, if that's their level, then there's gonna be more conversations. And she's scheduling phone calls. She's putting calls in my schedule, so I know that the schedule is that she's got a conference call. But there are times, the frustrating part is that when she puts it in her schedule and doesn't put it in mine. So now we have, with the 3-year-old, she's not going to let you talk on the phone if you have something important. If you have it, no matter what it is, she's not going to let you talk on the phone. She needs all the attention put on her. So if she didn't put that in my schedule and I didn't know that I needed to be home, well, now she's going to have to do that. She's going to have to do that conference call with Autumn in the room. And it's not going to be, it's going to be a pretty stressful phone conversation.
Okay.
She's gonna be on the counters. I guess there was one time where I was at work and she had a conference call. She thought she'd be able to do it, and I guess Autumn dumped Quick Oats all over the counter, and she was standing on the counter. She climbed the counter and dumped the Quick Oats out on the counter. And then I guess, I don't know if she got down herself, or if Tanya came up and found her standing on the counter because she was asking for help. I don't know what it was. But like, yeah, it's just stuff like that that I just know I just gotta be around for. And there hasn't been any frustration with it. I know it's something that she wants to grow, so whatever I can do to help support her, and help her grow, I'm gonna do that.
Mhm. That's yeah, that's and you're a supporting husband. That's a good thing. She knows that like she can always lean on you, and vice versa. And I know you have your own business also. So how does that come together? You know, in the summertime, I know you have your own detail company. So now, like you, Tanya, I'm pretty sure in the summertime it's like really like hectic in the summertime because everyone's trying to work out. And then you have your auto detail business where everybody wants to get their car cleaned and detailed. Now, so how do you guys make that mesh? Like, how does that work? I feel
So
like I'm entering.
this is gonna really be the first summer of this is really gonna be the first spring and summer of that. I think I'm willing to because I mean because I already have a thing that I do, something that I do weekly. So I'm okay with scaling back and letting her do her thing.
Okay.
Because
So it's her turn to shine.
yeah, and because honestly, the detailing for me is really, it's I'd prefer to treat it more like a hobby than maybe something may I wouldn't even say maybe because I try to be as I try to be as intentional as I possibly can. So I'm purposely not wanting to grow it because not only is it going to take me away from from her and the kids a lot more. It's a lot more it's a lot more time consuming.
Mhm.
It's a lot more time consuming and a little bit more I mean it's a lot of physical labor too, so a little bit more taxing on the body versus
Mhm.
what she's doing.
Yeah.
So, I don't mind looking at the schedule. She doesn't have something. I can schedule something in there. I'm very much okay with that. For the time for the time being. If things change, then we'll have to make adjustments as we as we move forward. But for now, yeah, I definitely enjoy detailing. There's nothing for me. Is nothing like there's nothing uh, nicer than seeing
Right.
someone jump into a nice clean vehicle, and for them it looks like almost showroom new.
Mhm.
So yeah, I take pride in making sure that someone else has a clean vehicle. So if anybody's looking for anybody, well, we'd have to hit me up on the gram because I don't work outside of the area. So yeah, holla
Can
at
they
me.
come to you? Let the people know. Can
Yeah,
they come to you?
you'd have to come to me, but then you'd have to know where I live at too. So I only do that for a select few.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like we gotta give you guys your chips or your flowers, as people would say, because you guys are both taking turns to shine. You know, I feel like Tanya gave you your turn to shine, do what you wanted to do. And it didn't work out that way, but you know what? At least Tanya saw something in you and she's like, okay, if you want to do that, okay, I'm gonna take a step back and I'm just gonna let you do what you need to do. And it flipped. Now it's Tanya's turn to shine, and you realize that these are the things that will help her succeed in life. And I feel like most people would never do what they gotta do to kind of like help their significant other, get through what they need to do. And I shouldn't say most people. I'm sure there's people out there that like will do what they need to do to help their significant other get through whatever life changing moments that they decide to do, or career changing moments. So for you to like now take the step back, let Tanya take the shine, do what she needs to do because that's what she loves to do, and recognizing that and taking that big step and recognizing that she despised and hated her job so much that it was physically making her sick. She was mentally done, physically done, like she was just over it. And for you to take the step and say like, you know what, quit, I got you. Let's do what makes you happy, give
Yo,
you a round of applause
I'm
for
not
that
going.
one.
I'm not going front though. Yo, as a man, to be able to tell your wife and be like, yo, I got this. Just let it go. Just let it go. I got this. I was like, I'm gonna say, definitely puff the chest out real quick. It felt good. It felt good.
It's always good though. It's
But
always.
it,
I feel like for a man to for you to tell your wife like,
but at the same time, though, I was nervous as a month. Yo, for real, I was that nervous.
that's part
I
of life
didn't
though.
tell
Like,
I didn't tell her that until maybe like a couple years later. She was like, "Yo," she was like, "You nervous?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I was." I told you to quit your job. What did you? What? I said, you can quit tomorrow. She said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, you can quit tomorrow. Yeah, just do that. Handle that." And then she did it, and I was like, "Oh shit, you really did it." Okay, now what?
imagine you said, "I was just kidding."
Mm,
What?
yeah.
Imagine you said,
But yeah, nah, I'm
just
glad she did it
joking.
though. I'm glad she did it because cause she's shining right now. She's shining right now. I fellas, yo, if your lady wants to do something and you could see that and she puts that vision out in front of y'all, in front of you, just just make her shine. I'd rather I have no problem laying in the background and just letting her shine. I'm all right with that.
That's good.
Isaiah, I know
That's
Isaiah's watching.
exactly. When little ones are watching, you gotta show what it's supposed to be,
It's done.
and more for men to know that it's your wife's turn to shine. And I mean, there's nothing more to say. That you did what you did. She's very happy. She loves her career that she's doing, and that's that's what she always wanted to do. And you gave her the green light to take off and do what she got to do.
Mm. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And I have to say the same thing for all the other fellas out there taking care of their business, like Pat, as well as any other fellas out there taking care of business. Get your flowers too. I think that that's definitely something that we don't do enough of. You have those people in your circles or whatever. You don't just let them know you appreciate them because you never know. You just never know. So give them their flowers while they're here, yo.
Exactly, exactly. You were there when she was shooting in the gym.
Yeah. Mmm. Oh, heck, this is gonna be a lot of Rose references, yo. Teamwork make the dream work.
There you go. You were there when she was shooting in the gym. Now look at her.
Shit. Nah, man.
Everybody wants. Everybody needs time to make them look good for the summer.
All right. Well, I think we're good to wrap up, no?
All right. Do we have any final thoughts? Final say.
Uh, I think for me it's just yeah. I mean, when you see that the support needs, when you see that your support needs to be given, if it's if it's worthy, if you're in a position to support your significant other, um, do it. I definitely think about weigh the pros and cons. I think you should definitely do it because I think in the long run, it'll be beneficial to your relationship, and you do not want to be I would not take it for granted, but my God, what's that word right now?
Uh,
I can't think of the word. I'm shot. Ha!
you're
I
shot.
can't
No
I
one.
can't I can't think of I can't think of the word right now. But yeah, if you can support your significant other, handle that. Do it. You'll be very happy in the long run. Both of you. You don't want to be the reason why um someone they didn't do what they wanted to do when they had the vision. That's
All
it.
right. I
All
like
I
that.
got. I still can't think of the word. Maybe one day it'll show up.
Uh,
Hey, final thoughts.
Support your significant other. That's all I gotta say. Support their dreams. Make sure you are their biggest cheerleader. Make sure that you're on their neck about making sure they fulfill their dream. I mean, just do what you gotta. You know, as a husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, you know what you gotta do to make whoever you're dating happy, and you know that their happiness is based off a certain thing. Then you go out there and you make sure that you are there with them, getting to their dreams and whatever they want to do to make them happy, and just do it. If you can support, because you're their number one support system. So all you gotta do is support, discipline, be disciplined, support, cheerleader, all of that, because they're gonna remember. You're gonna be the reason why they, you know, you're the gas to the engine.
Okay.
All right, guys. So that's the end of this episode. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. We do have a few little newbies. Hi, newbies. Thank you for subscribing to our page. Make sure that you head over to our Instagram, where we be having stuff, daily content, T talking, B talking. Come interact with us. We love talking to you guys. So please head over there and have a conversation with us. DM us if you have any questions, or if you had any thoughts on any episodes. Please do that. And yeah. And as always, thank you for pulling up to this episode.
Right. Appreciate y'all. Have a good week.
Bye, guys.
Later.